An exempt classification means that there is no GST chargeable on the product and the service to the end consumer. This means that any manufacturer, supplier, service provider who has paid any GST on the raw material or any other input cost will not be allowed to claim the credit of that GST which is been paid, as there is no GST for the end consumer. This automatically disallows any input GST credit, and the same form parts of the input cost. Whereas an exempt classification shall be actually like disadvantages to the local manufacturers or the importers, and then can make the COVID supplies more expensive as they stand to lose GST credit on the inputs. However, if instead of classifying under exempt, the priority products are classified under zero rated category under the GST law, it will address all issues and would be a true removal of GST effect in the entire value chain, as the manufacturers, suppliers, service providers will be able to claim the input benefit. So this would be beneficial to all category of suppliers, be it like local manufacturers or the importers. For example, in case of importers, it would reduce the cost of the import, while for domestic manufacturers, they will be able to avail input tax credit and utilize against other products or claim refund. So we would recommend to bring these products as zero rated in terms of the classification under the GST law instead of being GST exempt. We don't have inputs on making GST free for whole chain of vaccination production. Our suggestions for the vaccines would be zero rating GST on vaccines rather than making exempt, and grant 100% abatement, that's reduction in the taxable value to the manufacturer, say for a period of 2 years, without impacting the right to take credit of GST paid on the procurement. Typically, when an exemption is sought on the end product, the tax paid at various stages of the manufacturing chain sticks to the product due to possibility of utilizing such tax credits having been obviated by the exemption to the output product and or service. Actually, this adds to the cost of the final product and service, and therefore not the ideal mechanism for manufacturers and the service providers. GST exemptions does not necessarily lead to desired reduction in consumer prices, as input GST continues to remain part of the input cost. Rather than being GST exempt, if the products are made zero rated as recommended by the industry, the sellers will have to reduce prices under the GST law that mandates all rate reductions benefit to pass on to the buyers. And also, there are anti profiteering provisions to that effect under the law. The differential will be the amount of erstwhile GST that was charged on these products, which should bring down the prices to that effect of these essential medical devices and equipment.